Hi guys! Welcome back to my channel. So for today's vlog, I will be explaining the procedure on how you can change your foreign driver's license into Japanese driver's license. Me and my husband were able to convert our driver's license in the Philippines into Japanese driver's license without enrolling in a driving school that cost around 250 to 300,000 yen. So this will be a good option if you want to have a driver's license in Japan. Let me explain to you the procedures, and at the end of this video, I'll be giving away some tips based on our experience during our exam. So let's get started. So, how to convert your country's driver's license to Japanese driver's license. This procedure is also called Gaimen Kirikae in Japanese. So, to apply for Gaimen Kirikae, the applicants must fulfill the following two conditions. So, you have to have a driver's license which is valid. Expired driver's license cannot be transferred, and the applicant must be able to prove that he or she stayed in the issuing country for at least 3 months in total after obtaining the driver's license. So in my case, I'm around 4 months after acquiring my driver's license in the Philippines before I went to Japan. So I was able to apply for this procedure. So what is the general procedure? First, you need to gather all the required documents. Next is the screening, then aptitude test, traffic rule knowledge check, driving skills check. So this is the actual driving. And the last procedure will be the issuance of the Japanese driver's license. Let's talk about the necessary documents you need to prepare for the application. So what are the requirements? First, of course, is your foreign driver's license. It must be valid at least 3 months before you came to Japan. Next is the Japanese translation of the license, or JAP translation. It is a certified translation of your driver's license translated only by either JAP or foreign embassies. So during our application, we had our driver's license translation from JAP. So for JAP requirements, first is the application form. So I will put this link in the description below for your reference. Next is your driver's license. An official receipt is only required for license issued by the Philippines. During my application, they asked me for the receipt. I don't have the official receipt of my driver's license. I already lost it. So I applied for Apostille in DFA office. So how can you apply for Apostille of your driver's license? First, you need to get a driver's license certification from LTO main branch. Then, you will bring the driver's license certification to DFA and request for Apostille. Make sure you reserve an appointment because walk-in in DFA is not entertained. So next requirement for JAP is a photocopy of a residence card or a resident record or a passport. And next is the issuance fee of 4,000 yen. You can also do the JAP application by mail. You need to send the above requirements 1 to 3 together with the issuance fee of 4,000 yen by cash registered mail. So this cash registered mail, I think you can do this in JP Post Office, wherein you will be given a special envelope where to put your money and they will send it to JAP. For this kind of application, return postage is not required. The next requirement is the official copy of your certificate of residence or juminyo. Juminyo, or the certificate of residence, must show your nationality and it should be issued within 6 months. In some prefectures, within 3 months, but in Hiroshima, I think 6 months is okay. To get this copy, you need to go to the municipal office of the city, ward, town, or village where you reside. Next requirement is your residence card, your passport. This will be a proof that you are living in the issuing country where you obtained your driver's license and that you stayed in that country for more than 3 months after issuing your license. If you have your old ones, please also bring your old ones as well. During my application, I brought my 3 passport to our old ones, and they check all my entry date and my exit date in Japan to check if I stayed in Philippines 3 months before staying for long in Japan. And last is applicant's photograph. It should be 2.4 width by 3 cm height, showing your front face from shoulders up without a hat or cap with a plain background. There is a photo booth in the driver's license center, so you can get your photo there. Once you prepared all the documents, the next thing you need to do is to proceed to driver's license center and start the application. So during the screening, you need to phone in and make an appointment. Please refer to the official documents of your local driver's license center. Otherwise, you can just walk in and the staff will start your document screenings. In Hiroshima, they will not entertain you without the reservation. So make sure to call the driver's license center before going there. You can find their number in their website and you will be transferred to relevant department. You may need to wait hours, so bring something you can spare time with. Only if you pass this screening, you can proceed to further steps. During the screening, they will check all your documents. So they will check all your passport, names, your juminyo, your entry dates, exit dates. So next is the aptitude test. After the document screening, you will be interviewed in Japanese. So make sure to bring a translator with you if you can speak Japanese well, or if you can speak a little Japanese, make sure to have a script so that it will be easier for you during the interview. The common questions are, how are you able to acquire your driver's license? Whether you went to a driving school or not. If so, what the school curriculum was like, what kind of tests you took to obtain the license, how often you had driven vehicles after obtaining the license. So these are common questions, and during our interview, they ask us about, is there written exam, is there practical exam? During the written exam, how many items is in the written exam? What is the passing score? What is your score? Then during the driving test, do you have an examiner with you? And during the test, can you explain what is included in the practical test? So during our interview, we just explain the course, the driving course. There are sharp curve, there are inclined road, there are stoplights, just like that. So make sure to be more specific as possible. You will also be asked about the driver's license that you get. How long is the validity and what age is allowed to get a driver's license, something like that. Once you finish the interview, you will undergo an eye test. You will pass if 0.7 or more for both your eyes and 0.3 or more for each eye. You can discriminate colors of red, yellow, and blue. This eye test was very simple. You will just look at the small hole, then check where the opening of the C shape is. Up, down, left, right. For the color, you will just be asked if you can recognize red, yellow, and blue. Next is the traffic rule knowledge check. This is the written exam. This consists of 10 true or false questions that checks your knowledge about basic traffic rules and signs in Japan. You can take this written exam in the following languages: English, Chinese, Spanish, Korean, Portuguese, Persian, Russian, Thai, Tagalog, and Vietnamese. So during my exam, I took it in English. This will be around 10 to 15 minutes, and if you score 7 or more out of 10 questions correctly, you pass the test. And after you pass the test, you can either proceed with the driving test or you can do it on your next visit. But during my application and my husband's application, even though we don't have practice, we already took the driving test after the written exam because you already paid for the whole test, including the driving test that time. So better to use it on that same day. So the driving test, this is by far the hardest part of Gaimen Kirikae procedure. My husband took 3 times before he passed that driving test. For the written exam, it was very easy. If you read the book about traffic rules in Japan, you can easily pass the exam. But for the driving test, there are many checkpoints and you need to do every checkpoint during the test. That's why for me, it is hard. It took me 4 times before I was able to pass the driving test. The driving test does not only test if you can drive a car safely, but also test if you can safely and precisely perform many specific tasks such as safety checks, precise timing of blinkers, on and off, etc. This also examines your ability to precisely navigate your car, such as going through narrow roads and park at the very left edge of the road. Based on my experience, here are the tips that I can share with you. This is based on my experience and my husband's experience. First is make sure to memorize the driving course route. For Hiroshima, you may refer to the link below to see the actual route. So I already make a video about the driving course route for Hiroshima. So you can check the link on the description below. Indicators and signal light turned on 30 meters before turning left and right. During my exam, I'm turning the indicator light or signal light two-way early, so it was one of the comment. And then, sometimes I forgot to turn it on. Also, after turning it on, sometimes I forgot to turn it off. So, the examiner will say to me to turn on your indicator light, turn off your indicator light. So, during that time, I failed that exam. Don't be too slow. It is okay to be slow when turning, but speed up on a straight part. So, the driving route, there are straight parts, long straight parts. So, the examiner is expecting that you will speed up on that portion of the road. So, around 30 km/h is the safe speed on that straight part. But when I asked about when turning left or right, he said that it's okay to slow down if you're turning left or right, but on straight part, make sure to speed up. Stay close to the left when turning left and close to the right when turning right. So, this is the hardest part for me. It took me few practice before I was able to make sure that I am close to the left when turning left. So always the reason for this is that motorcycle or bicycle cannot enter the left side of the road because it is dangerous if you turn left or right and there is a bicycle or motorcycle on the left. Most of the turn during the driving test in Hiroshima in the driving route is turning left. You will mostly turn left, so make sure to stay close to the left. Always conduct the safety checking. Make it noticeable by the examiner. Make sure to exaggerate your checking and make sure to check the rear view mirror, side mirror, then also turn your head when turning right and same way when turning left. Hold the steering wheel with your two hands. Make sure you are holding the steering wheel with your two hands. I saw one examinee during our exam. He has long hair and he's holding the steering wheel one hand. Then he always do this during the exam. So I think he was scolded by the examiner after the test. Because after the test, the examiner will talk what is your mistakes during the exam, what you need to improve. Make sure to not go on opposite direction. In Japan, it is right-hand drive and in Philippines, it is left-hand drive. So, if you haven't practiced driving in Japan, you will get confused. So, make sure that you will not go to the opposite direction. If you are from a country with a left-hand drive, Japan is the right-hand drive. So, please be aware that also the blinkers and wipers are on the opposite side. So, during my husband's exam, he got confused with this blinker and wiper. So, every time he's turning left or turning right, he is activating the wiper. So, that one is also not good or dame in Japan. And what else can I share? Make sure to do all the checking as much as possible. Even you think that the examiner is not looking, make sure to do the checkings. Because during my fourth exam, my last exam, driving test exam, I'm still not perfect in turning left or turning right. But the examiner says that my checking is very good. So, I think plays a great part during the exam. Also, in Hiroshima, I think this is also offered in other prefecture. You can practice driving in the actual course itself during Saturdays. So, I did this 3 times. Every second Saturday, I practice driving for 1 hour in the course so that I can be familiarized with the course and I can practice turning left and turning right. So, if this is offered also in your area, better to check and try to practice there. It will cost you around 4,000, 10,000, depending if you have your own car or if you will enroll in a driving school. Because some driving school offer practice for Gaimen Kirikae. So better to check that one. I will also make a video on how I was able to practice in Hiroshima Driving Center. I will put that video in the description. So that's all. If you have other questions, or if something that is not clear in this instruction, you may ask in the comment section down below, and I will try to answer you one by one. So I wish you good luck. Hope you pass the driving test, especially the driving test, and don't get discouraged if you don't pass the first time, because for me, it is very difficult to pass the first time. The written test, it is very easy. Just read the book and you can pass that written test. But for the driving test, you really need to practice, especially if you haven't driven for a long time. The Japan rules is very strict, so make sure to practice as much as possible before taking the driving test exam. That's all for today's video. Thank you for watching. Bye!